Welcome to T-Bone Speaks with Dr. Tarun Agarwal, where our goal is to change the way you practice dentistry by helping you achieve clinical, financial, and personal balance. Now, here's your host, T-Bone.
Good evening, afternoon, morning. I don't know. It might be
daily workouts, walks, drive to work.
You might be in Alaska where it's daylight 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
Or
what do they say? Good day?
Yeah. What do you think happens?
You say?
No idea.
Do you say good night when it's still light out?
Yeah. Well, how does that work? Yeah. I mean,
Rabbit hole. All right.
Anyway, we can go on and on.
I'm as far from Alaska as I can get. So.
Yeah.
That's true.
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm super excited to invite one of my dental school classmates, Jared Otley, on today's show. And we're going to be talking to Jared about many different things. And we'll kind of get to that conversation here in a second. But let's turn it over to Meredith and see where we're at.
Hello, everyone. I have a weekly review of our podcast. So if you have not already left us a review.
Yeah, we're still stuck at 103. I'm a little angry about this. Okay.
Yeah, if you have not left us a review, please do on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. But I have one today that says something I look forward to every week. I love this podcast. T-Bone covers an incredibly wide range of topics from clinical to practice management and always asks smart questions to his guests. So be prepared. Smart questions. I'm just starting dental school, so I admittedly don't even understand some of the conversations, but I'm always finding that I learn something each week.
Well, I would like to add one that was updated this week.
Oh, yes. We had a review update.
Yes, from Seth Taj. And thank you, Seth. So he wrote this other stuff before about how he's a non-dentist, blah, 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 which is great. Good for you, Seth. What was great was his update. It said OMG, which stands for Oh My God, or Oh My Goodness, depending on where you're at. The keto episode is so funny. I was laughing throughout the whole thing. T-Bone hunting for his ice cream. And it is kind of like that.
Yeah.
And
so how is that going?
It's okay. It's a little bit of a struggle right now.
Yeah, I heard. So Jared is visiting from Florida. He's in town, and I heard he likes ice cream, milkshakes.
Yes, milkshakes.
Dude, you eat more milkshakes than anybody. I think you eat more milkshakes than me.
Listen, if you're gonna waste time in a drive-through, you might as well get a milkshake
For the ride home before
right,
you even get your food.
Last night's drive-through at Cookout was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Cookout has like the best milkshakes too.
It was good.
Yeah.
Worth the wait.
All right. So
long wait.
Well, let's introduce Jared. Jared, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You're nervous, aren't you?
You bet.
Why, dude? Come on, man.
Because this isn't my thing.
That's not your thing. So tell everybody, what is your thing?
I don't have a thing. I just work and be a dad. That's it.
All right. So you're a
know that?
dentist.
Yep.
Okay. You went to school with me in Kansas City.
We made it.
6
years.
You made it up.
Dragging
you made it much higher than me.
Dragging each other.
But so you grew up in
Milton, Florida.
Which is
Northwest Florida, Pensacola.
Near Pensacola.
Yeah, Pensacola area.
And talk to us. Was dentistry a forced subject on you?
I wouldn't say forced, but yes, my father is a dentist.
Okay.
My uncle is a dentist.
And they practiced together?
They practiced together. We worked in the office as kids.
Yeah, my kids don't do that.
Sterilization.
Do your kids work in the office now?
Of course.
So no, they don't. Okay. Makes me feel better. All right.
Yes, they get paid for working in the office. So yeah, we actually did do some work back then. We developed x-rays, cleaned.
Okay.
That was usually like the 7th and 8th grade. Our middle school was really close to my dad's office, so we could walk there after school, put in some hours, and get paid.
Your dad was pretty tough on you, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he's a stern but good.
Yeah, no, of course he's good.
Of course, yeah.
Right.
But it was my uncle that made it look fun,
Why do you say that?
He did. He just, he had a good time in the office. They're two different personalities, my father and uncle. One's very serious, go in full speed. If you talk to my dad, Bob works too slow. If you talk to Bob, my dad works too fast, So he used to get this little mechanical turtle, and he'd see Dad running from a hygiene room over to his operatory doing work, and he'd get the turtle and he'd wind it up and then walk down the hallway. You're moving too fast. You need to slow down. You're moving too fast. And he would just walk down the aisle singing that song, and my dad would look behind himself. And there it would be, the turtle.
Did you understand any difference between a fast-paced office and a slower-paced office at that age?
No, but you could see the difference in like I'm not gonna say enjoyment. I'm pretty sure my
Right.
dad loved work. You know, I'm sure there's like days we all have. Don't want to
Yeah,
go,
sure,
want to
of
go.
course.
You know, but to me, for my uncle, it looked like every day was fun.
Was that just his personality, you think?
A lot.
Was he a fun person
lot.
outside of the
Oh, yeah.
office
Oh yeah.
compared to your dad?
Yeah, I mean,
But he enjoyed it.
more. Yeah, I mean, they're 16 years apart,
Okay.
so they're.
Your dad was older?
hmm
Okay.
Yeah. So he just made it look more fun,
Okay.
you know, and that's what kind of made me look at like it's a profession I could do, for sure.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
your uncle. I just assumed it was your dad
Yep.
that made it happen for you. All right. Why'd you pick UMKC?
My
Why'd
dad probably doesn't know that, so I'm sure he won't listen.
I
to
doubt
this.
he listens to
He won't listen to
podcasts.
this. Although he has these drives now from
Yeah.
where he's teaching.
Yeah, so he's
in
teaching
Defuniak.
at one of the
It's an
Well,
outline clinic
yeah.
for the school in Tampa. I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I don't know what it's
Braden
called.
in Bradenton.
Yeah, something like that. So their senior year, they either go to Defuniak or Michigan.
Okay.
So he teaches in Defuniak.
2
So he has
days a
an
week.
hour and a half drive. So he might start listening to these. We never know.
You should.
We'll find out.
He's good. Is he drive his car
When he,
fast?
when he sees me, he goes, "Really, Bob? Bob's the reason?" Then I'll know.
What did you think about growing? Did you? Well, look. At the end of the day, I don't want to give away too much here, but you now. Okay, so here's the deal with Jared, which I thought was amazing. You're 4 siblings, right? There's you 3 brothers and a sister.
Correct.
Your sister's an attorney, and you and your 2 other brothers, all 3 of you are dentists.
Correct.
And you all live essentially within half an
Same
hour, 45
county.
minutes of you
Yes.
of each other. And so you and your brother, one of your younger brother, practiced together, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then your older brother took over your dad's practice.
Correct.
And let's go through the names because
So-
that's the other issue I have with your whole family.
So my older brother Jeff, he graduated dental school in '98, so a year
Okay,
before
from
us.
Florida, I think,
From
correct?
Florida.
Okay,
Went into practice with my dad and uncle.
right away.
Yep.
Okay, as an
Uh,
associate.
As an associate, 2 years. I believe in 2005 or 2006, uncle moved to Tennessee.
Okay,
So I just left them too. And then maybe 7 years later, my dad retired.
okay,
So now my brother's running that office by himself.
okay. We has an associate, I believe, correct?
He just recently brought in an
Okay.
associate.
All right.
Yep.
What's it
Which
like?
he needs help. He needs
you-
to talk to you.
Well,
Jeff, you need to talk to Tarun about this.
not about associates. I am not the right person
Yes.
to talk to about associates. I understand why we want them,
Yeah.
but I'm not necessarily, because I'm very old school. I'm probably like your dad with those kids at those clinics, Was it weird for your brother to work with your dad?
I don't know. He doesn't say much about it. We
Okay.
haven't had a big conversation about it. So
Okay.
It's nice always having that mentor right there.
Right.
He was definitely by this time I would say he was more chill,
Yeah.
not so tight,
Well, they weren't
tight
like,
wad,
yeah,
or not
tight wad, tight wound.
Yeah, really, yeah. So
Maybe-
he was
maybe a
more
tight wad
relaxed.
too.
So he probably was a little more in the teaching mode, like he is
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
He's different than when we were growing up now.
Well, we all are, right? Like my parents are so different to my kids than they were to me. I'm like, man, you guys are nice.
Right? You guys are good grandparents.
Yeah, no joke. And
What
then-
happened?
And so then there's you, Jared, and then your brother's name is,
Jonathan,
and your sister's name is,
Jeanette.
right? All J's.
Are your parents Jays too?
Yeah, my dad is, not my mom.
Oh,
So we're all
oh,
Jays,
she's
yeah.
the little. I have a friend too.
Okay,
It's
and now
all K's.
you have 4 boys,
I have 4
and what are
boys.
their real names?
Avery, Andrew, Aiden, and Austin.
All A's.
And they're all middle names are C, so they're all ACOs.
Oh, well, that makes it good for the monograms. You can just pass them
That's
down.
true.
Yeah, that's because
Yeah.
they're all boys, and they're gonna wear monogram stuff.
Well, book bags and stuff when
So you
they're
can't
little.
put ACO.
You don't know which one it's
AC
for. Yeah.
ACO 1, ACO 2.
Yeah.
So okay, and then your brother Jonathan, when did he graduate dental school?
He graduated dental
A
school.
couple of 3 years after us.
No, he would have been, 2005 maybe.
Okay, 5, 6 years.
2004.
Okay,
Yeah.
2004. All right, and then
Because he's 3 years younger.
and did he
then
join you right
8
away?
5 years.
Did he join you right away?
He did 1 year AEGD.
Okay, why did you do that?
He was encouraged to.
Okay, what does that mean?
Yeah, well, I don't remember how it happened, but
Okay,
he was encouraged to, I think. So,
all right,
so yeah, he did that in Miami,
okay, I bet you had a
then
good time there.
Hialeah, he did, I'm sure. And then he came in as an associate for 2 years.
In
our
your
office.
practice?
Correct.
Why didn't he go to your brother's practice? Probably wasn't space necessary because I think Bob was probably still there at that time.
I thought Bob had, maybe he came in right before Bob left.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's it like working with your brother?
It has its good things and bad things.
Yeah.
You know, he gives me, a long string to run the things the way I like to run them.
Okay.
You know, and not all partners are going to do
No.
that.
Right.
You know, we can argue, and 5 minutes later, we're still brothers.
Right.
So, and you can't do that with just any partner.
Right.
So, but at the same time, I wouldn't say I can't change him
Right.
like you might at another partner.
Well, you can't
It's
change
gonna be-
any partner.
Yeah, it's gonna be his. He's gonna do it his way. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it my way.
And
And,
it works
and
out.
we just make that work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your wife is also a dentist?
Yeah, she's the boss.
Karita. She was also a classmate.
Yes,
So
she was.
And so how many days is she working?
She works 2 days a week.
So what's that dynamic like of having, does Jonathan ever feel like it's you two against him? Or
I don't think so.
No?
If he did, he would never say it.
Okay.
But maybe, I don't know. It's a good question.
What do you think
He
about
should be here on this with us.
What do you think about working with your wife?
Listen, we've been together every day since we were 18 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we went to school together. We were in the Army together. Then we started the practice together. Each time we'd have a kid, she'd take 3 months off and come back and be mad because I'm using different materials. And she's like, "What's this?" So it got to the point, I can't remember. It's either after our second child or the third child that we decided that we were going to start kind of limiting her practice to pedo.
Okay.
At first, she hated it, and now I think she would say it was probably one of the best ideas we've had.
Okay.
Yep.
That's good.
So do you
Maybe.
all specialize or within general dentistry on different things? Like we were talking earlier, you said you like Invisalign. You like ortho.
I like doing a lot of ortho and Invisalign. She does all the pedo. Jonathan kind of just, he's just a standard general practice.
So he does the
Okay.
bread and butter dentistry.
Yep.
Yeah. He has the easy stuff, I would like to say. The less headache stuff, to be quite honest with you. I find some
Possible.
of those specialty procedures that we do sometimes very heartache-aching.
Very stressful.
Because one, people have high expectations. They're typically paying you a lot of money. And then you have high expectations of yourself, I think.
Well, while we're talking about that, we can talk about how people go from just being a general dentist to being a super general, because I think both of you guys are on that path, and how you got there, what made you want to do that kind of thing.
Well, I'm the super. I'm the caveman general dentist.
Okay. The one who
that the
didn't want
original?
the one who didn't want to do anything with blood.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah. Oh,
much.
listen, I'll tell you about Tarun.
Yeah. You know what? We were going to wait till the end, but I think we all really, we brought you here because we want to know what T-Bone was like in dental school.
I'll tell you. Well, first of all,
Well, number one, let's set the stage. We went to a 6-year program,
Yes.
which was
Okay.
straight out of high school. So most of us were 17 or 18
You
years
guys were
old.
young.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we were in a program where it's 2 years undergrad, 4 years dental school. You had to maintain a 2.8 or 3.0 or something, and then you got your admission into
but at the
dental
same
school.
time, our first semester we're in 18 hours.
Yeah, 18, 21
College.
even. Yeah, we were, and then we went
Which
all
is
summer.
crazy.
We went every summer to school.
Yeah, 12
So-
and 13 during the summers.
Yeah.
That's full time
Full,
for a regular
yeah.
semester.
Yeah,
Our easiest semester was our first with 18 hours.
yeah,
And we're in dental anatomy with 4-year dental students.
yeah.
First semester out of high school. But I'll tell you a couple stories about Tarun. First of all, Tarun, he looked like he was 20-something the first day, and he was 17. I remember we went out to dinner. Do you remember all the 6 years we went to dinner from the dorm? We go to this little Chinese restaurant we could walk to, and we go around the table. It's a big table. There's 9, 10 of us. Gets to Tarun last, and he said, "I'll have a beer, Miller Lite." We're like, "What? Did you order a beer?" Tarun,
I
we're
hardly drink now.
yeah, and he didn't drink then. But he the Chinese guy, he's like, okay. So we all had milk, and we're still kids. Tarun had a beer.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
Now all the kids are at his house, but for like the Millennial Mastermind having beers and he's drinking milk.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Tables of turn.
Somebody's got to watch those kids.
he
when they come
he wants
here.
a milkshake and everybody else is drinking beer.
Man, we should have milkshakes right
No,
now.
no, I can't do any more ice cream.
Drew can drive. Where's Drew?
All right, so let's get back to the path to becoming a super dentist in a sense,
All
or a
right.
caveman dentist. I like to call myself.
Because not too many people want to do all that kind of education after
Well,
school.
but I don't look at it that way necessarily. I think there's a lot of people that want to do that level of dentistry, but who are unwilling to persevere through what it takes to get there.
Right.
So, when did you decide that because from what I'm hearing, it sounded like your dad was, would you say your dad was a traditional general dentist?
No, he did ortho.
Okay.
So,
But
he
not
was
implants.
big into occlusion.
Okay.
I think he did some implants back
Okay.
in the day. Yeah. I mean, he used to do IV sedation in
Okay.
the office. Yeah. So he had a saying, the only thing he referred were bad attitudes.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah, so he was probably one, a super general.
Of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, it was, I'd probably just be a regular general dentist doing fillings and 1-unit crowns. But when 2 weeks before my first son was born, we were getting an ultrasound, and they found the cleft lip and cleft palate. And I think that's what changed it for me. Right then, I knew my wife was already signed up for Garrity Ortho, the first course. And I remember I said, I'm going with you. I hadn't signed up, but I'm coming with you, and I'm going to take the course too. And, because no one's going to treat him better than I will.
Right.
So, and once I started taking that stuff, I just got addicted to it. It's one thing after another. And then you get to the point where, like, you're into it so much, you can't waste a weekend. So taking bad CE courses, that was just out of the question. So I started doing research on, like, who and where. And so I got involved in the AACD shortly after going through the ortho. I took an implant curriculum in San Diego because we went to San Diego.
Right, Karina's from San Diego.
So we went there twice a year anyways. So we kind of planned it with that, and that was El Faraji. I can't really pronounce his name, but then I saw John Coyce at the AACD, and that changed everything.
Fell in love with him?
Yeah, because I'd already
A
started.
bromance.
I'd already started Panky, so I did Panky 1.
Okay.
And I came the whole time I'm at Panky. I spent hours. They had this little simulator where you're trying to
Do CR.
bimanual manipulation of the jaw. And,
Caressing.
And I'm pretty ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I write left-handed. I just throw right-handed, so I'm always using both.
You practice right-handed too, correct?
Practice left-handed.
You practice left-handed. Okay.
Depends on what I'm doing. I mean, I will do some things right-handed, but not very often.
Do you have your assistant switch your chair halfway through?
No, I just bump her out of the way. I say, I'm coming over. But so when I saw Dr. Coyce, and he just gave a one-day lecture, but he was talking about, he did go over how he could do a full bite adjustment without ever touching the patient's face. And I had just been to Panky a month before working on this simulator, which had no muscles attached to it that were fighting me. And I couldn't get it, even left and right hand. So I knew, I was like, man, if I'm going to do a bite adjustment and I got to touch the patient's face, there's no way I'm going to get it right. And then I heard Dr. Coyce and the way he does it. And it's just like, man, there's your answer. So then I started taking his courses.
And they're not cheap.
No, they're not.
And they're not close.
No. You got to fly to Seattle from Florida. So you're missing a day
From
there.
Timbuktu, Florida.
Yeah. You miss a day there. You're there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. For the first course, I flew home on Sunday. My wife cut that out when she found out there was an overnight flight. So I was taking the course all day Saturday and
Sounds
catching
like
the
all
red
my
eye.
friends.
The red eye home, yeah. But I was worthless on Sunday, that's
Yeah.
for sure. But But he, the one thing you learn with Dr. Coyce is you save money with the knowledge that you gain.
Right.
You avoid the disasters. So, and that was.
And to me, that's what knowledge really is.
Yeah.
Right? It's
all
knowing,
good CE, I
well,
think.
it's knowing what not to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And how to avoid some of the mistakes, and then then certainly, of course, how to troubleshoot through the mistakes. So I've heard a lot of people say that Coyce, Spear, Panky, all these places, they kind of change your life and your perspective on dentistry. What would you say is, kind of if you were to sum it up, how did those programs, how did the Coyce programs really change how you practice?
They give you more confidence, definitely taking on bigger cases. But, confidence that you can, one, you're not going to screw the person up.
Okay.
And two, that you can actually make them happy.
Right.
That's two different levels of confidence. So that's the biggest thing. Plus, always having that mentor that you can reach out to.
Right.
I think it's important because you can take all the classes you want. You're going to come across something where you need to reach out.
You need help.
Yeah,
You forget.
of course.
You don't do it enough.
Of course.
I've always heard, because I haven't taken any programs from Kois outside of seeing him at Chicago or
Right.
big meetings like that. I heard that he has a significant emphasis on diagnosis and treatment planning.
Mm-hmm.
So would you agree with that statement?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So talk to us about that. What is that like? What is, in a nutshell, kind of what is the philosophy there?
Well,
And how does it apply to a so I want to be clear about this. You have what I would consider a standard, traditional general practice
Right.
that you live in how big is Navarre? 30,000 people?
30,000.
30,000 people. So it's not like you're in a hi-fi area
Right,
or any of those things. So you at the end of the day, 70-80% of your practice is probably traditional general dentistry.
Yeah.
But yet you took time to invest in, 6, 7, 8 classes from Kois?
Yeah.
Plus
I've
the
been
annual
there,
symposium.
Yeah, a bunch of times.
Yeah. So how does it kind of relate into the general practice?
Well, you hear a lot of people, some dentists will say, well, I can't do that. I'm in a small town.
Right.
Listen, small town people, the teeth are the same. It doesn't matter
Right.
where they live. And same with their, they're going to want their teeth when they're 80 also, So it's still all about presenting the dentistry that they need.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just assume they're going to say no. So, but as far as Kois and his philosophies, he's red, yellow, green.
Right. Yeah.
So that's just a way to, everything we do makes that group, whatever you're looking at, like dentofacial or, caries susceptibility, biomechanics, function, all those, we give them a red, green, or yellow.
And are you using
That's
that?
easy for the patient to understand.
Are you doing that on all your patients?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, it's a diagnostic form that we can fill out on the new patients and kind of just let them know. And then the biggest thing is I like his 4 classes of dysfunction, or we should say occlusion.
Right.
He's got like the dysfunction and the constricted envelope and, parafunction, brain activity or whatever. But I'd like to have my sheet in front of me and I can tell you exactly what he calls them,
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is really presenting it to the patient.
So how do
And
you
not just assuming that they just want that. Because they come in saying that their one tooth broke. It happens all the time, right?
Yeah,
They
of
say,
course.
I just want this one broke. You present it all to them, and maybe not that year, but next year they start treatment.
Yeah. And what has the success been with like that? I mean, are you doing more comprehensive dentistry than you imagined you would do?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, especially when you combine it with ortho knowledge, because anterior tooth wear, a lot of these cases you really should reposition the teeth.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's typically there's a big push now that it's an airway issue. A lot
That too.
of clenching and grinding is
exactly.
grinding especially.
Tons of clenching.
Yeah.
People are stressed out. I think the cell phones have made us worse. I didn't clench until I had a cell phone.
Because we're more aware of what's all going
You're a
on.
liar, dude.
I did it. Now I clench, but I wear a night guard, so.
All right. So how'd you get into ortho? So we talked about it from the cleft lip palate
Yep.
thing. Okay.
Yeah. So my wife she was already signed up, so I didn't go with her to the first class, so I ended up she did all hers in Atlanta. I went to Dallas for my first class, and then we went to Atlanta for the rest of them. But
Together.
Yep. So that was like however many weekends, and then you go back the second year and do it again, kind of sit in the back of the room as a mentor or whatever. But Garrity, he's the man when it comes to general dentists and ortho. He's been the man. That's what my dad learned from Garrity.
Okay.
And
I don't think he's personally teaching anymore.
not anymore. No.
Yeah. Remember, Matt was teaching with him, Standridge,
Okay.
who were looking to do some of our ortho
Yeah.
programs, our limited ortho programs. So
Yeah.
I feel like when you the more things you do, then the less a recession's going to affect you.
Right.
Like did you have a turn down in 08, 09?
yeah.
I didn't. I didn't even realize that we were in a big recession.
But it's interesting you say that. My downturn, so our practice dropped about 30% in 08, 09, a little early 2010. But I was also a very limited dentist at that time.
I would say we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Becoming recession proof.
Yeah,
That
is
works.
from expanding, right? Because basically my level of dentistry in 08, 09 was cosmetic cases. I did endo at that time, and that was it.
And no blood.
No blood, no blood, no blood whatsoever. So
Yeah, I still
We've
have
come a
no
long
blood
way.
story.
yeah, so
it
First time
just
Tarun
makes
saw blood.
yeah. It just surprises me because now his largest cases are just full on
yeah,
blood.
Bleeding everywhere.
Yeah.
we're purposely inducing bleeding. Yeah. So what was my first blood story?
Well, this is our first day in the oral surgery clinic. Do you remember this?
Yeah, trust me, I remember it. But
He's scarred.
was it first year dental school or was it while we were still in undergrad?
I think we were in our third year.
Third year dental school?
Yeah, we were starting our oral surgery rotation.
Okay, all right.
So we were supposed to be out there for 2 weeks. The first day, these are all like cubicles, so they have swinging doors, not like your traditional
Yeah.
operatories, and we stand up. So in the first day, we were with one of the oral surgery residents. So I'm standing in there suctioning for my oral surgery resident. All of a sudden, I hear boom, boom, and my door swings
We
open.
have sound effects too.
So I turn around, and there's Tarun laying on the floor. I'm like, Tarun, he fell through his door, across the aisle, and through my door, and into my cubicle. And he's laying on his back, looking face up at me. I'm like, what are you doing? Get off
You're like,
the
you
floor."
hit your head. Get
And I
up.
wasn't super heavy at this time either.
He passed out.
By the way, I wasn't even assisting. I was watching. I was second assistant. I was just watching. I was just watching it happen.
And the funny thing is when we have, so I started in his office as an intern, and when he brings these interns in, he asks them, does blood bother you? And I'm like, well, do you think these people would be wanting to come see it if it did? And
Oh,
this
dude,
is why
blood-
he's asking.
Blood bothered me. There's a lot of dentists that blood bothers them.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I
dude.
believe it.
I remember doing our
Listen, there's
anesthetic.
days it bothers me.
I remember
You
doing the
shouldn't be
anesthetic
bleeding.
days where we had to do anesthetic on each other the
yeah.
first time. And I'm all shaking my hands.
I feel like this is good because we have a lot of, as you heard in the review, I feel like we have a lot of young listeners, people that are in dental school or just graduated, kind of all phases, but I feel like we have a lot of millennial aged listeners. So are you guys doing, since we were talking about that, are you guys doing the procedures now you thought you would be doing when you graduated?
No, for me, absolutely not.
That's what exactly.
Like I would have. Look, if you probably could catch me off the golf course my senior year of dental school, I would have probably told you that I don't want to do any dentistry, that I hate dentistry, but I love the business of dentistry.
Yeah, we figured Tarun would own like 10 offices
Yeah.
and not work,
Yeah.
be doing great.
Yeah.
But that's what I would have pictured for myself.
He says that, but then he loves it so much we can't get him out of the
Well,
operatory.
But I think my why wasn't like you, where it's familially related.
Right.
My why was I don't know if you were up there for our meeting yesterday, but I talked to our team about a couple of things about myself, and I said, my biggest fear in life is disappointing people, more specifically my parents, and my second biggest thing is always the fear of not being proud of whatever I do, and that includes other people around me. So I know, look, my parents are very proud of me, but I also know that they weren't proud that I didn't have the grades or the networking connections to be able to do any type of specialty program. They literally would have left me.
Oh, dang.
They would have left me out of. They would have laughed me. I wasn't a very good student or a very committed student. They would have laughed me out of the residency program. But so my dad kind of forced me to take some education. And some of the first classes I took, I went to a large dental meeting. I heard Larry Rosenthal talk. That inspired me a lot. Then I heard Ross and Bill Dickerson and some of these guys, and they really inspired me to see dentistry from a different perspective. And just like you, I got hooked. I got the bug. And, then I was focused on doing that in my practice. And the concept or idea of multiple practices just really was always there in the back of my mind. But I think I solved that entrepreneurial itch from the Dental Town meeting, then 3D dentists,
yeah.
and all that stuff. So
yeah.
I'm getting the entrepreneurial part in still.
Yeah.
But, I'm not doing it through multiple practices. Economically, I possibly could have done a lot better that way. But that's okay. I'm really loving what I do and, that kind of thing. So
I believe your first townie meeting was same weekend as my son's first surgery.
Yeah.
Because I ended up not making it.
Like maybe it was at the Flamingo 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so you got into ortho from that perspective.
Did you always think you were gonna? So you didn't think you were gonna get into ortho when you graduated? What did you want to do?
I wasn't.
No, I'm talking about ortho.
No,
with
no, no,
Tarun
no,
was
no.
playing golf with somebody.
Not-
He wasn't out there by himself.
So Jared, by the way, Jared.
Not
so
a
I remember the
residency.
first time I ever played golf. Jared took me to Swope Parkway Golf Course, and I had never played in my life. And I was again hooked. But I have a little bit of an addictive personality.
When it comes
Because
to
I had
competitiveness, it's competitive.
No, I just competitive. I
Yeah.
had a gambling problem.
Yeah, that's where that's
So,
what he's addicted to.
But when you guys because this is one thing I learned working in T-Bone's practice. I had always wanted to be an orthodontist, and then working in his practice, I realized you don't have to be an orthodontist to do ortho.
Right.
So when you guys graduated, is that something you even thought you would really be able to do as a general dentist?
Well, see, my dad did it, so I knew.
Okay,
You
so you
could,
were around
yeah.
your dad's practice.
Yeah, but I didn't think I was going to.
Yeah.
It wasn't on my list of things to do.
What did you want to do?
In fact, when we were getting out of the Army, my wife applied for some ortho residencies. She got a couple of interviews, but did not get in. So, actually, this must have been, when did she do that?
02, 03?
Was it before we got out? It had to be before we got out, because when we were getting out, we knew we were going to the
Okay,
bar. So
so
it must
yeah.
have been right after school when we were in the Army.
Okay.
She applied.
How'd you end up in the Army, by the way?
Oh, well, I had school paid for
No,
from my parents.
right. I was going to
So
say.
they strongly encouraged it. You get to see the world.
And then how did Karina get suckered into it?
All right, so here's the real story. So my dad always talks about it.
Yeah.
He did always bring it up.
Did he do the Army?
He was Navy,
Okay.
Yeah.
After dental school.
right? So
Okay.
he was 03
Okay.
in the Navy. In fact, he got stationed. He's from Pensacola. Got stationed out of dental school at Pensacola NAS.
God.
He didn't want to.
Yeah.
He was like, I joined this to see the world, and
Yeah.
here I am.
He's like, I want to see the world. 2 years there. Then they moved him to Whiting Field in Milton.
Oh, my God. Which
Big
is still
30,
Pensacola.
30 minutes away, yeah.
Yeah.
So he got out, started his own practice. So he always told me, look at the military, try it, you might like it. So one day we're actually at the Midwest Dental Meeting
Okay.
in March.
Right.
I think it was March of our sophomore years.
Okay.
And Karina and I are just walking the floor. We're, hey, come here. So we look over, and it's the Army recruiter, right? They're always
Yeah.
there. So we walk over there, and he's like, listen, we had scholarships go untaken. They didn't have enough applicants or whatever. So
So we're talking 1997 at this point.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, listen, apply, you probably get it. Get your last 2 years paid for, and then give us 3. So he already asked, like, what year are you? He's
Yeah.
like, sophomores. He's like, oh, this is perfect, because we actually had scholarships go unused. So we applied, and my wife got it. And I was an alternate. So I told my wife, have fun.
Have fun.
I'll see you after
Well,
the
she
3
wasn't
years.
your wife at the
it was
time.
my girlfriend. I tell my
Yeah.
girlfriend, hey, listen, and she's like, no way, I'm not doing it if you don't get in. And I'd say, I don't know, about after a month, enough no's came around to where me as an alternate got the
Got it.
scholarship. So 2 years paid for, 3 years back.
Yeah. Did you
And
enjoy it?
Yeah, yeah. We lived in Germany for 2 years, so we traveled all over the place. My wife's not one to sit around, so if we had a long weekend, we were gone. And
Yeah.
you get them at least once a month there, so you had flex Fridays.
Okay.
Hmm.
Would you tell other people to go into the military?
I'd say it's a good option.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to learn a ton. I don't know what their scholarships are now. Like, I heard I have a guy that's been shadowing for a couple years now, a good family in Navarre, their son, and he's looking at it. But I think he told me it's 4 for $5, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Did your
if they
brothers
still
have to do the military?
it. None of them did. No.
Why did the military?
None of them did. No.
Why did you?
They probably told my dad, "Yeah, I went and applied and didn't get it. I wasn't that smart. I didn't think of that one."
So you tell other people to do the military.
Yeah, I mean, you're like I said, you're going to learn a ton. One of the years is an AEGD, so you're same as like if you were to do it civilian.
Right.
And then the other 2 years, you're going to go somewhere, more than likely overseas, but there are some spots here.
Quite
in
a
the
few of
US.
our friends did it. Kevin did it.
Yeah.
Greg did it.
Yeah, and Greg stayed in extras
Yeah.
so he could go to Italy,
Yeah, he wanted to go to. I
Loved
remember that. He was in Air Force, correct?
Navy.
Navy.
Yeah.
Navy. Okay.
Kevin was Navy.
Yeah.
Christy.
Yeah,
Christy.
right.
Actually, Adam was in the Army with me, and we ended up in Seattle together for a year, and then Germany 2 years together.
Interesting. How'd you get into implants?
Yeah.
Because that's not something we even got. I would say we didn't get exposed to it in dental school.
Not at all, right?
Thank goodness. You would have been on the floor.
We would have never woke him up.
Yeah, he would have dropped out.
No, it was soon after, I think when I was probably in the middle of ortho, really. I knew that my son was either going to need an implant or, he was going to need something.
Yeah.
He's actually been very fortunate. He actually had supernumerary teeth.
Right.
So he didn't, no implant as of now.
Yeah.
He had an impacted canine, but we brought that in and with no issues. But it was, we're doing trips to San Diego, like I said, twice a year. So I found an implant course that was there, right there in Del Mar, La Jolla Beach.
Right.
And so every time we'd go, we'd set it up at the same time.
Right.
I'd take the course while I was there, and kids would go to.
Do you enjoy
SeaWorld.
implant dentistry?
I do.
Yeah.
I like it even more with the surgical guides now.
Yeah.
It's, takes the stress out, makes them almost too easy sometimes.
Yeah.
You get done, you're like, dang.
I need to make that take longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Patient's going to want a refund. No, it's too easy.
Yeah. What are some of the other things that you're trying to get into now?
Invisalign.
Yeah.
I did some cases 15 years ago, and it just,
Yeah.
didn't. Let's just say it didn't work as good as braces did in my hands.
Well, your training was traditional brackets and wires as
Right.
well.
Mm-hmm.
So
And you can't look at it the same.
no.
No. It's different forces on the teeth.
So let me ask you this: why, as a person that's highly trained in brackets and wires, as a general dentist, your cost of brackets and wires is probably $50 to $100.
Oh, yeah, way
You know,
cheaper.
why would you go to something that has such a high lab bill?
I think it's
The
because,
patient's one.
I think it's going to be what's asked for.
Okay.
If you can't do it, you're going to lose patients.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's good enough now to where it's just as, I say some cases you're going to do faster in Invisalign than you are traditional ortho.
So are you trying to move to an all Invisalign or all clear aligner type of practice?
I don't know if I could ever move to all, but my father-in-law, so Chris, he's an orthodontist in San Diego, and it was probably about 5 years ago. He was visiting one time, and he said he's going to pretty much all Invisalign,
All
90%.
Yeah.
The only ones he doesn't are like the kids. They want braces
Right.
for the colors.
I want my kids to have braces because I'm sure Arya's not wearing her trays. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, we talked about it already.
Did you ask her?
I already talked to her.
He told her how important it was to wear them until her food comes to the
That's
table.
right.
Yeah.
45 minutes out of your mouth, no more than that.
Yeah.
You're regressing after that. So it's important.
I tell them that's why she complains that the trays hurt because
Yeah.
you're not
They're
wearing
working.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're overworking.
Yeah. Well, they're
Yeah.
not. You're not getting the teeth there.
Yeah.
What's next for you, Jared?
Just increasing my Invisalign practice. So I'm trying some different
What's holding
new
you
marketing.
back? What's holding you back from doing more Invisalign, more implants, more all of that? I know the answer. I'm just trying to get it out of you.
What's holding me back? I don't know. But like I said, we're trying to get more patients in that are looking for Invisalign. We're already, heavy into the, I would say, internal marketing, with our current patients. I would say most of our Invisalign cases are already patients, but so I'm going to try some marketing for some external patients.
Have you done any marketing in 20 years?
I haven't done any.
You just had 18 years, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yesterday was your 18-year practice anniversary.
Yeah.
So So have you done any
Went by
marketing
fast.
in 18
Never.
years? None.
None.
Yellow Pages maybe in the beginning?
No, I think we just put our name in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did send, like, we used to do like a little postcard to anybody that bought a house.
Right.
That used to go out.
New neighborhoods.
Yeah, the whole thing. I actually got one myself. It was
We get all their friends do too, but everyone that gets his magazine sends it to me. I'm like, well, that's good. At least we know it's going out.
Yeah.
You know, like
They're really sending
which
it.
part of neighborhood, which neighborhoods are getting it.
So, and then I got, I sent myself a mailer the other day saying I was overdue for cleaning.
I
get
think
my
those are
text
automatic.
messages.
Yeah.
I'm overdue for a cleaning. which
It says
is
we've
sad.
been trying to reach you multiple times.
Duh. So, all right. That's pretty good. So, I think we covered everything.
I mean, we
Meredith.
touched on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anything else? Any other fun stories you want to tell us about us? Probably not.
not that I can remember.
Yeah. No, I was.
They were
Ke-
too
Kevin's
busy on the
not
golf
here to
course
talk
to
about Kevin.
Yeah.
talk about school.
Yeah, you're my problem. I played golf so much my first 10 years out of dental school afterwards, and then I got my belly got too big and
Yeah,
my
I
back
had too many
starts hurting.
kids.
Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Where did she show up?
Yeah, hey.
All right, everybody. I want to give thanks to Jared for coming out. We're here, by the way, and we're making a commitment to do an annual father-son
That's right.
golf trip.
Yeah.
We're here, and just so
First annual.
my son
Till
is
the
4
suns get way too cool to hang out with you guys.
Listen, they'll never get that way. My son is 14. His son is 15. They talk so much smack, and we were up 9 holes after 11 holes today.
Yeah.
The match was over.
We put the beat down on them.
We did.
I think
and,
we made them nervous.
and then we're gonna do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys know the update of the full weekend on the next episode.
Well, if you don't hear anything, it's because I lost. I'm not going to advertise that for
No
sure.
update means bad news.
So again, as always, listen, if you could leave us a review, help us expand our social media reach. If you can support our partner, which is 3D Dentists, through some of our training and our programs, we'd love to have you join us in Raleigh and online as well. And we look forward to seeing you each and every week on the T-Bone Speaks podcast. Have a great day.
Thanks so much for listening to T-Bone Speaks with Dr. Tarun Agarwal. Remember to keep striving for excellence, and we'll catch you on the next episode.